next topic.
Yeah. So we got our guest, my man Cornelius Anthony from Simply Champagne podcast on the podcast network. Look, hey man, look, we look. I got video stuff for you too to introduce this topic here. Y'all know the turkey leg hut has been under fire for the least a year and a half, 2 years.
They smoking like them turkey legs.
Yeah, literally.
They literally smoking like them turkey legs, man.
So hold on, I'm gonna play the news report. The official, because Dime didn't even realize that she thought that their spot got burned up. She didn't realize that he was putting out his job. Hold on, I'm going to play the news report.
The judge has ruled that Lynn Price has to stay in custody pending trial because there are no conditions or combination of conditions that the judge says will reasonably assure the safety of the community. He's accused of orchestrating the arson at bar 5015. The judge wrote as an apparent act of revenge. Surveillance video showed the crew Price allegedly paid $1,400 to douse the patio in gasoline and start the fire in June of 2020. An FBI agent testified last week that Price wanted to be co-owner of 5015, but the owner didn't want him involved, and Price wasn't happy when he found out 5015 was selling crawfish using the turkey leg hut's same supplier. That explosion destroyed the building, and Price has now been charged with arson. The judge said by clear and convincing evidence, Price is dangerous, and these alleged crimes happened while he was on supervised release after serving federal prison time for income tax fraud. The judge found the weight of the evidence against Price is strong and that he has a history of violence or using weapons. We also learned in court last week that Price allegedly coordinated the sale of marijuana out of the once popular restaurant on Alameda. We have reached out to Price's defense attorney this afternoon for a response. We're waiting to hear back, and we'll update that at click2houston.com. But if convicted, Price faces up to 25 years in prison.
All right, so I just want to play y'all.
Hey, you better take a plea.
Yeah, he better take.
I'm gonna play a close up of how dumb these niggas are.
Yeah.
Look at these guys.
Oh, they're gonna be.
Oh yeah, that's a preview for later on. Look at what they doing, dog. Look at them. They got on. They ain't even got no masks on. These idiots ain't even got no masks on.
Y'all don't have gloves on.
Nothing.
So break this down for us. You are Houstonite. You are a sommelier. You are on the scene there. Break this down for us, man.
All right, so Turkey Leg Hut, which has grown in popularity literally since around 2015. It started out with Lynn Price, who is the husband, and Nakia Holmes, who is formerly Nakia Price, who is the wife, or whatnot. They started as a food truck at the Houston Rodeo. If you know anything about the rodeos, Houston Rodeo is kind of like the biggest rodeo kind of in the country. You know, that goes on between February and March. It was kind of like their way of that's what a lot of businesses do in Houston. They start either food truck wise or they do pop-ups here. And that was kind of their way of getting known throughout the Houston area. And it kind of blew up. It did blow up. But during that time, Lynn actually went to jail for bank fraud or whatnot. He went to jail for bank fraud. And so Nakia was kind of the one who got them into. Nakia was actually the one who got them into the brick and mortar spot off Alameda. If you don't know about Alameda is kind of like, it used to be considered Third Ward, but they rezoned it to consider the art district to raise those price values up for those yuppies who were moving, because it's really close to downtown or whatnot. It's literally based right outside of downtown, in between downtown and what we consider the medical center area or whatnot. And he wound up getting out of jail, and he was on the scene. That area also is kind of like what we consider like our Black Wall Street area or whatnot. So on and so forth. And when they talk about 5015 actually was a bar before Steve Rogers, who are they talking about, the person that was supposed to be the partner. I don't know if you want to call Steve necessarily a restaurateur, a person who has different restaurants, but he's more so like a person that has like a series of clubs and bars around the city.
He's a club entrepreneur.
He's a club entrepreneur, I would say for sure. And business went bad. Steve wound up buying 5015 from a white lady who had like a series of bars. She wanted to get rid of it, and he wound up buying it from her. And a good friend of mine actually was one of the chefs that worked there. The crazy story about the whole bombing thing, it's ironic for me personally because I was there actually the night before. that happened. And actually, that was the weekend that my wife actually came down. At the time we were dating, our first time seeing each other in about 15 years. She wound up coming down there the next day that it actually happened, or whatnot. So it's kind of like crazy how everything went down. And so, just to give a series of like the issues and problems that Turkey Leg Hut was going through, you mind if I go down the issue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Problems?
Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
okay, it all really started around 2019 or whatnot. Turkey Leg Hut, sits basically on the main street, which is Alameda. Imagine like basically like Kings Highway. You know how Kings Highway is, a natural bridge. You know, you have your main street and you have like your houses behind it.
Yep.
All right. So they were smoking turkey legs like crazy. So, you know, they're in a very kind of like I said, they turn into the art district. So it's not just us that's over there. There's a lot of other ethnic groups and so on and so forth. Smoking so many turkey legs, people start complaining about the smoke. People coming outside saying like, hey, we come outside our house, it smells like smoke all the time. They're like, okay, we gonna fix that issue. The next issue that became a thing was that the dress code. When Turkey Leg Hut first started, there was no dress code. Listen, when I say free for all, it was literally free for all. I'm talking about bonnets. I'm talking about like bikini wear, the fluffy slippers, all that. There's just show and tell. And you know, they began to want to change kind of like their image to kind of be more of a stable restaurant. And people around Houston were like, you know, why all of a sudden now you want to change to be change it now. So they kind of rub people the wrong way. So also in 2020, this is when Steve Rogers, who was basically one of the co-founders of the physical establishment, the brick and mortar spot, was like, hey, I'm not getting my money. So he sued the company for 1.5 million and he won. Now, okay, so this is before he got 50/50. This is around the time he first bought 50/15. Okay. When he bought it and renovated it, that's when the explosion happened. I will say this. Turkey Leg Hut got a lot of issues with fire. It's a lot of fires that's going on. I ain't talking about just burning and cooking some turkey legs. They got a history with fires throughout this whole story, which we'll get into down the line. So 50/15, but the thing about this, give a proximity of like how close these restaurants are. They're basically like two buildings down, but across the street from each other.
Yeah, it's like 0.1 mile if you look it up.
Like literally, Almeda's type of place. Like if you go on Alameda, it's like the cross street is Alameda and Southmore. We go there. Me and my wife go there all the time. It's a popular hangout spot. You have 50/15 on one side. Across the street there, you have Faces, which is a very popular historic spot that people have been going to. Next to that is a very popular African American mortuary that's been there in the Third Ward area for a long time. And then next to that is the Turkey Leg Hut. Okay, so what was supposed to be, because Turkey Leg Hut was trying to expand. They had Turkey Leg Hut, and they was trying to expand to Daiquiri Hut. So it's kind of like Daiquiri Hut. It's a parking lot, small space was supposed to be Daiquiri Hut. Then it's the Turkey Leg Hut. When you go past Turkey Leg Hut in its prime time, man, you would see like slabs, old school cars, like the bikes, all that type of thing. And it was like, I'm talking about the line was down the street, literally down the street. It became like a destination spot. Houston has a lot of destination places that people love to go to, such as like the Breakfast Club or whatnot. It's probably like the #1 African American breakfast spot. Destination spot that people go to when they come to Houston is that or whatnot. So after that happened, we get to 22, 23. The judge orders him to pay Steve Rogers $900,000. He's pissed off. You know, this is what it is. But things are going on internally in Turkey Leg Hut. He's been, again, these are all accusations. Let me just say it up front. These are not things. Allegedly, these are things that were going on in the business. He got caught sleeping with workers in the bathroom. He was slapping workers around. His wife was not innocent. She was she wasn't sleeping with workers, but she was getting in confrontation with workers because of the things she's seen. There have been stories that's been told, allegedly, that she has caught him messing with workers when she comes up there, and fights have broken out between her and workers. There's been issues of them not paying workers. That's something that kind of came along. That's been going on for a minute. It's 2025. That's been going on since about 2021 or 2022. So yeah, so around 2023, man, Nakia decides she wants a divorce. She wants to leave. She doesn't want to do this anymore, and they decide they want to go their separate ways. To show you how a type brother he is, he wants to claim fame, but the thing about it is that in Texas, if you are a felon, you can't hold a license. You can't hold a liquor license. So
I think that's probably across the board, ain't it?
yeah, I think that I don't know. Yeah, I think that's pretty much across the board.
Probably almost every state.
So what he decides to do is that, okay, since I can't basically be a part of Turkey Leg Hut, I'm gonna sit up shop across the street and I'm gonna start Oyster Hut. Literally across the street. Literally.
Damn.
Literally across the street. Literally across the street. So let me tell you about Oyster Hut. He starts Oyster Hut with a family from Louisiana. I think hold me correct, I think they're from Louisiana. And he basically took their recipes. Then they sue him for stealing their recipes and not giving them kickback for, helping him
Get it up and going.
Oyster Hut. Exactly. So then 2025 comes around and here we are, and hey man, like Kanye say, man, when it all falls down. And these young brothers, young brothers, I don't know how many times, I don't want to call them YNs, they're a little bit above the age of YN. They kind of in between the YN and the unk age.
Yeah, I was like, they a lot of them is unks.
Yeah, a lot of these are unks. And I would say this directly, it's not allegedly, I can just say this straight out. We all knew when the bombing happened here in Houston, we knew who did it. It was just a matter of time of when it was gonna come out, if it ever came out.
But that was just one of them hood things, in Houston of like, yeah, Lynn did it, and I'm like, no. And then when I was like, oh, the feds got involved. Like, this is a real thing.
I remember I told you when it happened. I said, listen, man, we all know who did it. And Steve, think about Steve Rogers. Steve is a good dude. I can honestly say that he's a good dude. He's a very stand-up person. He always does his business correct. So if you getting sued by him, there was some shadiness going on. Absolutely. He's not a street person. He's 100% about his business and his businesses. And he stands firm with that, like a lot of Black males who are in the club industry here in Houston. And so it just went bad, man. And to risk your life in the feds for $1,400.
That's my next thing. So it was $1,500 that all four cats got, not $1,500 each, right?
No, it was $1,500 total. That's a light bill. That's not even bail money. You can't even buy a section. Let me tell you, if they would have went to Turkey Leg Hut, they couldn't have got a table.
Dom, you was reacting. What you got on this?
And Dom, thank you.
I had no words. Cause them niggas didn't even get $1,500 each. I thought they got it each.
No, ma'am. They not only did they get $1,500, but they went and burnt the car that they did it in.
So
that's the other part of the indictment. The indictment is not only for the burning of 5015. They got arson for burning the car afterwards. And then hold on, I'm gonna go back. I forgot to leave this part out. When the feds were about to actually raid the Turkey Leg Hut, the office mysteriously caught on fire.
Oh. But then also like a policeman or something, they burn up a policeman's car on accident or something.
They stole the police. That's the old school car. They stole a police officer's old school car to do the stuff that they did at 5015, and they burnt it up. That was his old school.
And that's what got it the motion for. Was like you burn up a cop's car up.
Exactly. this is a Tubi movie. I can't wait. I hope somebody from Detroit picked this up. This is gonna be great.
Them Houston boys need to do this. The Houston got some couple of cats down there doing anything. Houston need to take this on. And I don't need no Tubi. I need this to be a this need to be one of them Netflix series, yo.
Man, it's kind of like, you know, the vibe down here is kind of like people empathize with Nakia because, you know, Nakia, she was, you know,
but she scammed some people out of their bread though too.
Absolutely. I can't. She's not innocent in this either.
Taraji Henson's got a player in the TV show, y'all. In the TV, my mini series, Taraji Henson plays Nakia. Dom plays Lynn.
Lynn, I will say this. Lynn is not Suge Knight. I've seen on plenty of YouTube things that he was like the Houston Suge Knight. He is not the Houston Suge Knight at all.
Okay, let me think.
He's not that. He's not that person. Is he a person that is big in stature that will fight you? Yes, he was having fights up there, pistol whipping people, and yes, he was that person. Was he a person that was feared in the Houston streets? No, I would not say that at all. No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay,
very
I'm trying
respected. He's a very respected person in the Houston street. But as far as like, you know, like you remember
Omar Epps.
I'm sorry?
What about Omar Epps to play Lynn?
No, he's too small.
He's too small. Okay.
He's too small. You got to get somebody
small.
like my man. Like he really like Suge Knight style. He's a big dude. He's not.
Oh, what about my boy from Queen Sugar, Hollywood?
Oh yeah, that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
That he plays on Bookie.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Hold on, what's my name? If I can get his full name out. I want to get.
But Don, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So what are your thoughts?
Omar Dorsey.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say when you saying Suge Knight statue, I was like, who? Omar Benson Miller?
You know what? That wouldn't be a bad one either. Yo, and that's her cousin.
That's my cousin. So
from Sinners. What is his name? Sugar
Cornbread.
Okay, he can do it. He can do it.
But that dude's like 6'6", 6'7".
Lynn,
Omar.
I would say
Omar real tall.
Cornbread is a little bit more rounded than Lynn. Lynn got like
so Omar Dorsey would probably be more appropriate, right?
Yeah, he got more. Lynn got like penitentiary like stature, like size. He got that penitentiary.
Penitentiary.
He got that. You know.
Because are you from St. Louis too originally?
Yes, ma'am.
St. Louis niggas is the only people that walk around saying penitentiary. Don't nobody else do that.
Yeah, that penitentiary.
Don't nobody else do that.
Yeah.
I don't have no words because this is a lot to take in. And it went from bad to worse. And that ain't even
no, Dom, you don't know that. So the wife is being sued by the food company for $1.2 million.
Oh yeah.
And then the wife owes like 4 or 5.
Don't she owe like back payments?
Friends too, like people she took money from too. Yeah, for like another $500,000-$600,000.
Yeah, so I didn't even get it. So let me get into the wife. Let me get to Nakia. They went to, oh my God, I gotta find his name. Houston gospel artist. Oh my God, hold on.
Yeah. I forgot his name. Yes.
What's my man's name?
Hold on, I'm gonna get it for you.
So let me tell you. She went to them to ask them to invest in Turkey.
James Fortune.
Oh, he was cute.
I'm not gonna play with you.
She's like, he was cute.
They went to James Fortune and his wife and asked. Nakia went, not him. This is after the divorce or whatnot. He wound up, once they decided to go to divorce, they gave her basically control of the company because, again, he's a felon. He can't really hold a liquor license or so on and so forth. And they went to James Fortune and asked him to invest into the business. And
I feel like I kind of remember that part. Look at him sipping the tea.
it was
This is so good.
It just went bad. She started ignoring their calls. There was no return on anything.
She took
Voicemail.
300 grand from him. 300 grand.
Yeah. She just disappeared, basically. Just disappeared. And it was on the news. You can pull it up. You can pull up ABC 13, James Fortune and wife talk about, how Nakia Price or Holmes, and she goes by and I'll shout out to Nakia because she is from Chicago. She is from the Midwest.
Okay,
but wait. Okay, so while we here.
Yes, ma'am.
So is she really that great of a business person to exactly? Because the math that doesn't match.
The math ain't mathing.
And yeah, so also, as a whole, like I know you said that kind of they became like a big thing in like 2015, right? And with restaurants, it takes like a couple years for you to even turn a profit.
Absolutely.
So this is the point where they should be turning a profit, and them niggas is like, we ain't seeing the revenue because I don't know if they driving Bentleys. Niggas like to be flashy and go get to Gucci and Balenciaga, but I'm wondering, like they're like, okay, we've overspent.
Hold on, Dom.
So now we gotta because.
Look at this face. I got some that's gonna blow you out the chair.
Why you burn that man's shit down?
Hold on, Dom. I got something that's gonna blow you out the chair. Let me tell you why they weren't worried about money. They were selling turkey leg hut weed bags. With the turkey leg hut emblem on it.
Hold on, like it's blue magic?
Like blue magic. This is like Coca-Cola. This is a name.
They branded it.
I stand on this. Yes, sir. That's in the transcript. That was told at the hearing. They were selling the dude, one of the people who did the arson, said he was getting weed from high grade weed from California and leaving it in the trunk in one of the trucks on Turkey Leg Hut's property, and they were selling Turkey Leg Hut weed bags. That's why them niggas. I see. That's probably why they kept selling them turkey legs, because everybody getting high. I mean, if you high, you getting high grade weed from California. I'm gonna want a turkey leg hut with some stuffed dirty rice too. I mean, you getting the turkey leg hut special, and you getting the special. Everybody get high.
I really hate niggas.
I'm telling you,
I really hate niggas.
This is why we can't get loans now, because you give us the money and we go and do this. I'm telling you,
this is wild.
I'm telling you, this is a Tubi movie, bro. I feel you, but this ain't even BET plus.
No, I need somebody like Antoine Fuqua to do this or something, man. Like this look, the cast I got. Oh man, let me cast this mug, man.
For me, it's like this. How do you sit down at home and be like, listen, we finna sell weed and we gonna put our logo on it. It's gonna be the turkey leg.
That's what
3.5.
And it's illegal in Texas to sell marijuana, y'all. Texas will never have marijuana.
Yes, exactly. Why are you selling weed out of your establishment? As an entrepreneur, one of the greatest lessons I've learned is that your business is kind of like a fresh cup of milk. It's pure, it's innocent. The moment you taint it, it's tainted forever. So why? They had a perfect system. Like literally, they had food trucks. They still had the turkey leg food trucks. They had 2 turkey leg food trucks. They had the brick and mortar spot. They were doing things in the community. That's one thing I cannot take away from them. They were active in the community. They were active with doing things with HPD. They were doing active things with the city of Houston. You know, they were very, very active in the community, and the bottom just fell out. Like literally, the bottom fell out. After that very hearing that you showed earlier about Lynn not being able to get out because they feel like he is a threat to the community. Lynn's not a threat to the community, but
I don't know. You going around blowing up shit.
I mean, yeah, that nigga don't need to have no matches or lighters or gasoline. That nigga nowhere by a gas station at all. But they showed a video, you can probably find it. They towed like 40 vehicles from his house. 40. I'm talking about motorcycles, old schools, luxury, like 40 vehicles from his house. That's how bad it is, man. And like, you know, I mean, and the thing about it now, which his wife don't understand is that since you guys are divorced, now you can be a witness. You a witness now.
Oh shit. I ain't even think about that. You're right.
Because you know, if y'all still married, they're not gonna ask the wife to testify against the husband. Now since y'all divorced, she gonna get on, they gonna force, she gonna get that subpoena. It's coming.
Yep.
It's coming, man. Unfortunately, but that's just the reality of it.
Yo, okay, y'all. Antoine Fuqua, I got you on board. Taraji Henson, Omar Dorsey, or we could flip it up. If y'all want to get real jiggy with it, get my boy from Harlem, the attractive light-skinned dude that's buffed.
Oh, Tyler Lepley.
Boom. There we go. If you want to keep it younger, I got my mans there. And then who can I get to play the young lady if we don't give her? Taraji may be a little bit too old for the role. Give me somebody. Who's somebody that can play that Chicago chick that's a little educated, but they still, you know try to fight some girls at the bar type thing.
I ain't gonna lie to you. When I think of Lynn, I think about my man from Dirty D who got shot, who died, saying that it was
Damaris Harvey.
Yeah, my man who always play a bad guy in every.
Yeah, Damaris Harvey. Yeah.
Like that. That's more. That's like Lynn. They can redo. They can use the characters from Dirty D and redo. They can redo a Turkey Leg Hood movie. Everybody can fit in. Straight up, man.
You know what? Maybe you just do get the Detroit and Houston actors to do this. Maybe we don't need to to go that high.
I mean, the thing about like being from St. Louis and being from the Crypt, this would never have flown. This would not have happened in St. Louis.
Yes, it would have.
Not this bad. It wouldn't have went this.
But it might have happened sooner. Like the spot might not have been in business as long.
Right.
As the Turkey Leg.
I just.
It sounds like some St. Louis shit. That's why this is funny.
It does. Okay, I didn't want to put that.
Listen. Do we have to be real about our city? We're realists on this podcast.
Damn, I didn't want to put that on the crib. But
I'm the realist.
You're right.
Daryl is the delusional one.
You're right. Right. This definitely would go down in St. Louis, and we would laugh. We would laugh. We would sit there and laugh and be like, I know your aunties and stuff. Be like, bro, your nephew is tripping. He's tripping. At church.
I mean, I don't know if it would have been as lucrative though here in St. Louis though. Like, I think Houston gave it the ability to be more lucrative than it would be here in St. Louis.
One word or two words, Red. Well, Red, the barbecue man.
Oh, Reds. Yeah, Reds. All right, Cornelius, let everybody know where they can check your stuff you got going on, because he's one of the only black champagne sommeliers in the country. He's got his own champagne coming out soon. He got a podcast on our network, Simply Champagne, as well. You tell them everything you need to know for people to know.
Well, I mean, I'm actually about to launch. I'm actually about to be the first African American champagne importer in the world. So we got our first load coming in probably July. I just talked to the importer today. Just trying to time it properly. It's slow wine season. Summer months is kind of slow. So we're timing it properly. But yeah, you catch me I am on Instagram, champagne_master, simply champagne with an underscore at the end. And just reach out. Any champagne suggestions? I do events, I do travel, anything that you need, let me know, and I'm here for you. Also, I love suits, so anybody out there looking for somebody to be model for some suits, hey man, I got you. You see the
You sound like
background?
Dom. You sound like
This only
Dom now.
half the class. It's only half the class. But no, I got you. I got you. And so, yes, I'm always down. Always love to tell my story. Daryl will tell you. I have a very interesting and great story, and I'm very happy to be a part of the SOLC network. And it is such an honor and pleasure to be in front of these two great people who I cherish and love so very, very much. And I cannot wait to meet Dawn in person and give her a biggest hug. I've been telling her I gotta give her the biggest hug. Love.
And apparently I give really good hugs. Oh,
I appreciate that.
Hey, look. I'm just saying, man, that we're gonna have to bring you back on to tell your story at one point about how you became a champagne sommelier, being from the north side of St. Louis.
Yeah,
you know, there's another one from St. Louis. Like, did you have to meet?
Who else?
He's out here in LA. His name is Devin Reed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So Devin Reed. Yeah. So Devin Reed, and then
he's the only one in Texas. My bad. He's the only black.
Oh no, it ain't that many of them. Period. No. So
it ain't that many of them.
That's really the thing. You remember there was a movie about that.
Yeah. Cork.
Yeah. Cork.
Yeah.
So like that's true. Like it's like 4%, 5% that are black.
I will say this, Dom. If you have a chance, I don't know how your schedule works. I know you're a very busy person. Robert Glasper.
I got laid off.
No, Dom.
I got all the time in the world. I got laid off.
What you gonna tell me,
Dom? Okay.
But why do you say it like that, Dom? That job lost me. I ain't lose that job.
Absolutely, they lost a great person. You did.
Like I ain't like them people.
I was saying that Robert Glasper always does a blues and wine festival.
I know. And it's so funny. My cousin actually used to be Robert Glasper's assistant. So when I was in Paris, we went to go see him and Mos Def perform.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I was trying to think if I was gonna go to Blue Note, but I didn't have getting laid off in my plans. So yeah, I do want to go, even if it's just for a day.
Well, I need to get with you anyway on some PR stuff. But I would definitely be there next year. So
okay.
And I would love both of you guys to be a part, and we can do something
for
you guys to be out there. It's a total vibe. When I say a vibe, it is a total vibe, and it's the true essence of, like, to me, it's like a family reunion. It literally is like a wine family reunion. So
I love that.
It's a total vibe. But yes, please check me out, and anybody have any questions or anything, please reach out, and I'm always open. Daryl will tell you this thing. I don't know if this brother even go to sleep, because I always text right back. I'm not a person that texts back hours later. I'll be like, I got you right now. What you need? You know, that's how I roll.
I will text you and go to sleep.
That is fair. That is fair.
Thank you, man, Cornelius, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. That was
absolutely
fun.
You guys have a blessed evening. Hey, it's always Southside still holding.
No.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm from the Dub, man, so I can't say that. So.
Hey, y'all. If y'all like what y'all see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with your friends, because we got all the tea. And, if you want to check out more stuff from us, be sure to hit that button right there on the right side, so you can see other stuff and, again, share it with everybody.